Today we're doing something different. We are taking a look at the Wirecast gear. This is the first time I'm actually reviewing hardware on this channel. But as you know, if you follow me on my channel, my YouTube channel, I actually run 2 live streams per week, one on Wednesday and one on Saturday. And this is powered by Wirecast, but this is the software running on my iMac. So Livestream actually sent this over to me for review to try it out as someone who uses Wirecast a lot. So I've put this to test. I've been using it now for pretty much 3-4 months non-stop just to test and see the differences between using this Wirecast gear and using Wirecast as a software on my iMac. So the first thing we're going to talk about here is the build quality. So this is really, really solid. If this is something that you're going to be carrying around to different locations, I don't think you need to worry about this being damaged. This case here is made of metal, so there's no plastic here. So in that regard, it's well built and the design also is slick. So thumbs up for that. Okay, so the next stage now is to actually take a look at the ports. And when I take a look here, behind here, there is USB 3.0, which is really good. And we also have 2 HDMI ports, and we also have 2 Ethernet ports, which is also great, and we also have normal USB. Now, the reason why I'm excited by having HDMI is because when I connect my system all up for live streaming, I actually use my DSLR camera as my webcam. So this makes my live stream much better, and the quality of the video is way much better. So the HDMI ports actually do a very good job. So when I take a look here, and also we have more, so you can actually connect a module here which allows you to have even more than just the 2 HDMI ports that I've talked about. So here, I hadn't noticed this, but we have 4 more. So in total, we have 6 USB ports, which I think is great. Now, when I take a look at the front side, we also have a headphone jack, a mic, and also USB ports. And pretty much that's it with the ports. So in terms of connectivity, I think you have all the ports that you need to connect this. Now, when you run this gear, you need to connect it obviously to a monitor. You also need a keyboard and a mouse because this actually runs Windows software. But the system itself is optimized to run Wirecast smoothly. And to be honest, I noticed a massive change in terms of speed and in terms of how Wirecast runs, because on my machine it's quite laggy. So that's how this is put together. Right, so in terms of speed itself, from how I can compare with my Wirecast on my computer, this is definitely faster. I guess maybe that's because on my main computer, I have a lot more other things running on it while I'm doing my live stream. So I guess it could be that as well. But one thing that I know is this is optimized to run very, very well with Wirecast. Now let's move on to the next thing. Where is it ideal to use this device, this Wirecast gear? So in my opinion, I think this is ideal if you want to really set up a professional studio and you want your live streams to be really, really good. And obviously you have to be doing this on the next level now. I'm talking about being consistent, and this has to be bringing you money, because if you're doing this as a hobby, this is actually quite expensive. So you may want to use this as a step up to increase the production quality of your live streams. Also, this is ideal for anyone who's on the road or any small businesses that do live streaming as a service. So this could be maybe at a church service, live events, and so on. This is quite easy to carry. Like as I mentioned before, this is really, really, really strong. It's solid, so you don't need to worry about this breaking or any of that happening. So the challenges that I was having with Wirecast on my main machine is it became very, very slow. Sometimes I would have to restart the computer a few times before I start live streaming. This can be very frustrating, especially if you're all set up and you're eager to go and eager to get started. It's very frustrating. But having this on the side as I'm just about to do my live streams, and this as a dedicated machine, this worked really, really well for me. It really took away the stress of, will this work this time? Do I need to restart? So with this, to be honest, for the 3 months that I've been running this solid, I didn't have any problems with trying to restart it or maybe lag or maybe a lag while I was live streaming. So that's a really, really big positive. And also, the other challenge that I have with my iMac is when I use the iMac and I'm trying to use other software while I'm doing my live stream, that really, really takes a lot of strain on my computer. So I would say if you can afford it, this is the best way to go. Have a dedicated machine that does your live streaming, and then use your separate machine as for other applications that you have. So in that way, you would have a live stream that is dedicated, which has less issues. So I mentioned earlier on that I tested the Wirecast gear with other services. I've also tried Crowdcast and also BeLive, and this worked amazingly. It was fantastic. And also there's a feature in Wirecast 11 where you can use your monitor as a virtual camera. So instead of using a webcam, you can actually use your main DSLR camera as your main webcam. So this is fantastic. In fact, you know what? I'm going to do a dedicated video and show you how you can set it up. That has been a game changer for me, because before I was using a Logitech webcam. So since then, I've just moved to my DSLR for Wirecast, for my live streams, and also on services like Crowdcast and BeLive. So it's really, really good. So far, this product is perfect. I really, really love it. But there's one issue that I have with the Wirecast gear, and that is, if you listen very carefully, you will actually hear the fans running. And this, to me, I wasn't really used to that, because on my iMac, I hardly hear the fans spinning. You see, so hearing the fans spinning, that to me was like kind of like a shock. But if you're someone that uses, Windows computers, and you're used to maybe having a powerful system with a fan, then that wouldn't be a problem. But for me, I noticed that right away, and that is something that I was like, maybe because I'm not used to it, for me, that's like a negative. But it's not noise that will go into your microphones, because as you can see with the mic that I use here, this wasn't picking up the noise from the fans, but it's just that I could hear it. And as I mentioned, of course, I was just used to using my iMac, and it's very, very quiet. I hardly can hear anything in there. So that's the only thing I can mention about this. But overall, I would say this is really, really powerful. It was a joy working with the Wirecast gear. And this is something, to be honest, that I'm working towards. As soon as I get enough money, I would like to get a dedicated machine like the Wirecast gear to run in my studio, because I do these live streams on a regular basis. So definitely I would go for this. In fact, I will add the details to purchase this Wirecast gear in the video description below, so you can go ahead and check it out. And also, if you have further questions or you want to ask more information about this, I will also leave a link in the comments box where you can get in touch with the Telestream crew. They will be able to help you further. But overall, as I mentioned, this is a fantastic product and I highly recommend it.